Can you get good evening? Good evening. Hello, Radia. Hello, Cynthia. Oh, so good to see you guys. Thank you for joining the call. If you can hear me, say I can hear you. So who's on the call with me? Can you guys hear me? Please, can you state where you're joining from? I'm still hoping you guys can hear me, that my audio is loud. Okay. Good evening. All right. Good evening, Ademola. Good evening, Fermi. Oh, great. Cynthia can hear me. Good evening, Cynthia. So where are you joining from? Can you type where you're joining from? Oh, great. Thank you, Ademola. Where are you joining from? Let me know, let me know, let me know. Type, the comment section. Let me know where you're joining from. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Ademola. Thank you, everyone. Lekki, Lagos. Good evening, Godfrey John. Wow, so good to have you on the call. Yeah. So it's another live session, another spotlight show called Embark Entrepreneurship Academy. And today we are in for a good one. Yeah, a good one. I believe you're ready. And please, if you have questions, there will be room, to ask your question. Oh, Cynthia from Uganda. Good to have you, Cynthia. So very quickly, I'm going to get right into what we have for you today. Okay. So I'm going to be reading out the bio. I'm going to be introducing our guests. So today we have two amazing people, that we're going to be interviewing, that I'm going to be asking various questions. And so let me just read their bio and then we get right into it. Because of our time, we do not want to spend too much time here. So first off, you already know what Embark Academy does. I mean, what we do is train young entrepreneurs, whether you're graduates, undergraduates, you have a business you're running and you want to scale your business. What we do is to you know help you scale your business appropriately, teach you everything you need to know about running a business and scaling it properly. So you are in for a good one. So I'm going to start with reading the bio of the people that we'll be interviewing today. So let's get right into it. Let's get right into it. So today we have Mr. Lukman Sobowale David, and we also have Mr. Bayo. Yes. So I'm going to be reading their bio. I believe you're ready. So when I'm done reading their bio, please let's celebrate them with our emojis. Let's celebrate them with our emojis, our all these emojis. You know what I mean? So let's do that. Let's do that. Okay, so let me start with Mr. Bayo. I'm going to start with Mr. Bayo Lawal. And then from Mr. Bayo Lawal, I'm going to move to Mr. Sobowale. All right. Please, I'm trying to wait a bit so that other people can join because I do not want them to miss so much. That's why I'm taking my time. So if you know that there's someone here that ought to be on the call and is not here yet, please remind them now, remind them about this spotlight show so that they won't miss too much. Okay. All right. So I guess I'm going to go now. I'm going to start with Bayo, Mr. Bayo. So, who is Mr. Bayo? Mr. Babatunde Bayo Lawal is a renowned real estate developer, celebrated as a dream catcher in the real estate investment industry. With over 7 years of experience, he has built a reputation for helping investors make smart decisions that deliver high returns on investment. He is the co-founder of Dukiya Investment, a leading real estate construction and development company headquartered in Lagos, with brokerage services spanning 3 continents. So he's an accomplished scholar and an alumnus of Kwara State University, Lagos Business School, and Ajayi Crowther University, where he earned his MBA. His pursuit of excellence led him to complete the international business program at Rome Business School in Italy, and this makes Bayo a man of many talents, excelling in strategy, human capacity development, and project management. He has also mentored over 300 young professionals, inspiring them to push boundaries and achieve excellence beyond global standards. Bayo's entrepreneurial prowess earned him the prestigious prize for entrepreneurship at the Future Awards Africa last year, solidifying his status as a leader in his field. Beyond his professional life, Bayo Lawal is a devoted husband, father, teacher, author, and visionary. His dedication to innovation and mentorship continues to shape the real estate industry and the lives of those around him. Please let's give it up for Mr. Bayo. Please, our emojis. Let's celebrate Mr. Bayo in the comment section. All right. So very quickly, I'm going to be reading the biography of Lukman Sobowale David. So Lukman Sobowale is an esteemed developer, investment advisor, author, and distinguished business leader. His innovative approach has led to the fusion of groundbreaking real estate projects, achieving an impressive 15% month-on-month sales growth. He's a renowned investment advisor who has closed multi-billion naira deals in diverse markets, including Nigeria, Canada, Brazil, South Africa, and the UK. His passion for nurturing talent is evident in his mentorship of over 10,000 realtors worldwide and his acclaimed book, The Real Value of Wealth. So, Lukman is an alumnus of London Business School, Rome Business School, and Lagos Business School. He holds a certificate of professional leadership development from the Creative Catalyst in Toronto, Canada. Notably, Cablank listed him as a prominent real estate player to watch in 2023. He's also the winner of the prize for entrepreneurship at the Future Awards Africa and Entrepreneur of the Year at Recra 2023. Amazing people we have on the call this evening. Please, I want you to celebrate them. Celebrate them, celebrate them. Your emojis, celebrate them. So I'm going to be bringing them here now, and we're going to go on a short break while they join us on this call. Thank you, everyone.
Are you a young African running a business? Do you have the passion, the drive, but need the right training and support to take your business to the next level? Then, Embark Entrepreneurship Academy is your tribe. Join a powerful community of bold, ambitious young Africans for 100% free and virtual journey of training, mentorship, and real-world business equipment. Don't wait. Register today for Embark Entrepreneurship Academy Cohort 4. It's free, it's virtual, and it's built for entrepreneurs.
Hi. Good evening, Mr. Bayer. Good evening, Mr. Lukman. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you
Oh,
hear me?
okay. Yes, I can. Good
Good
evening. It's so good to
evening.
have you
Good
here.
evening, Temi.
Yes.
Thank
Same here. Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. So I just read your bio and lovely stuffs. I mean, good friends, some good close friends doing good things, doing great things. So good to have you on the call this evening. And we have a lot of
Your voice
questions
is
to ask.
breaking. I don't know
So
if
really,
we can't hear
wow.
you so clearly. I don't know. Sound check. Yes,
Okay,
it's
okay.
breaking. But can you really hear us well? Is
Yes, I
that
can. How about now?
Yeah, from my
No.
end, I think I can hear you clearly.
so? You're calling me right now. So not moving right now. Okay, so I can see you back, but it's coming on and off.
Oh wow. How about now? Is this still going on and off?
Yeah, we could hear you, but the voice is breaking. So if you have an alternative Wi-Fi, you might start, putting it in place just in case.
All right. I guess I'm going to do that. Okay, so once again, good evening, and it's so good to have you on the call.
Once you ask the first round of questions, you can just sort that. While Bayo is talking, you could use that opportunity to quickly finish up.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, I want to confirm. Can you hear me?
Of course, I can hear you.
So from my end, I can hear you clearly. Your video is not breaking. And from my end too, I can hear LSD clearly. I'm not sure his video is breaking. So from my end, I think I'm good.
Okay, okay. The thing is, I actually heard you quite well, but Mr. Lukman's voice is breaking as well.
It's possible then
So
it's my
network is
network.
being,
If both of you can hear yourself,
okay,
it's possibly it's my network that is playing the trick. I'm gonna find a way out.
okay.
Don't worry.
But I can
But
hear
I
you
can
quite well now.
but I
I have
can hear
four.
him clearly.
Yeah, I can hear him quite well now. It's no longer breaking.
I can hear him clearly too.
Okay, so I think that's sorted already. So let's just get right into the questions that we have for you today because of our time. So I'm going to start with, because I'll start with Mr. Bayo. So um, I know that you guys are co-founders of Dukiya Investment, and one thing that we would like to know is how this partnership started. You get, so let me start with Mr. Bayo. Please, would you like to share with us how the partnership started?
All right, thank you. Good evening, everyone. It's good to be here. Thank you for having me. Embark Entrepreneurship Academy. It's good to be here. Thank you for the leadership. I want to say thank you to the leadership, brother, for the amazing job that you guys are doing on this platform, empowering young entrepreneurs and helping them to scale their business and to get better at what they do. So, thank you so much for having me. Let me also say thank you to Lukman for, it was Lukman who told me about this before, uh, someone reached out to me and we spoke about it. And I said, once Lukman is in on this, I have no choice. I'm in with you. And then here we are this evening having this conversation. So thank you once again for having me. So let me just give a quick background as to how we started our business. Since we are talking about Dukiya investment, because in the time past, we've done various businesses but let's just talk about the focus tonight, which is Dukiya investment, which we started in the year 2021. And the idea was, brought about by Lukman. I can't take, anything away from that. That idea of let's start a company was, even the name Dukiya, it was Lukman who suggested the name through, a mentor who has, given him that name at the time, just mentioned. And, when he mentioned the name, it resonates with me. And I thought, why not? It's a name we can use. So the idea of starting up a business, starting up a real estate company came up from Lukman. And, while he was discussing the idea, we were formerly working in a real estate organization, and he was discussing the idea with me. And I felt, wow, why not? It's something that is possible. We can do this. And then, he's leveraging each other's strength. He has a particular strength. I have a particular strength. and we feel if we put our strength together, there's so much, that we can achieve based on, each other's strength. And, that was how we came together, and here we are today, still leveraging on each other's strength. And then what we have been able to do is amazing. So I just want to say, in the beginning, it didn't look like this. It was tough, it was rugged, it was fierce, but, it's easier when it's two people facing it head on. We're facing it together. In places where I don't have strength, Lukman has strength in that area. And in places where Lukman doesn't have strength, I have strength in that area. So it was always about complementing each other. It's not a competition. It's the fact that I'm happy as much as Lukman is happy. If Lukman is doing something, I'm not trying to do that thing again because he's doing my work. If I'm doing something, he's happy. We don't have to be competing with each other to do the same thing because we are working for the same organization. We are working towards achieving the same goal. So why kill yourself over achieving something? So, we are happy to lend, a hand of help to each other. We are happy to do things for it. We are just happy helping, supporting each other. So it's just been, a fantastic partnership working with each other and doing business together. So like, I think I'll just throw that in even as we start. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. One thing I picked from what you said is strength. I mean, you saw that okay, my strength and this person's strength is kind of, let me use Gen Z word, gelling, and you just decided to work together. One thing I want to ask Mr. Lukman is that what made you, because he said you came up with the idea, you approached him, right? So what made you believe that this was the right person to build with?
All right, thank you so much. So I think Bayo has said a lot. I mean, a lot of the things that I will have shared, I think he has pinpointed many of those points. But let me just really say that Bayo and I go from way back, especially right from our undergraduate days. I mean, we used to be friends and we share many dreams back then. So years later, both of us actually ended up working in the real estate firm. We thought of it that since we are working in the same real estate firm, it was easier for things to click. But beyond that, I remember our early days, how myself and Bayo effortlessly dreamed together. And I believe that if I see somebody that we can dream together, then I mean, we could actually work together. And if I wanted to do something, by the time I'm done with step one, Bayo has mapped out the next step. So I would say that Bayo is somebody who gets me. And since I feel that somebody who gets me, who understands my perspective, who shares similar values with me, it was not very difficult building with him. Because for the time that we've been, and let me say that our friendship, our partnership is beyond, just business partnership. It's more like our friendship and also brotherhood. I see him as the brother that my mother did not give birth to. So it's beyond what bonds us together is not actually money. It was similar value. We share similar values. We believe in the same things. I mean, values like trust, like integrity, our values on principles around God are similar. And so when it was time for me to start up a business with somebody, there was no better person that could fit within that puzzle except Bayo Lawal. So, and that has been it for me. And to be honest, it has always been a collaborative effort because I thought we believe that we should collaborate rather than compete because nobody knew that coffee was sweet until sugar was introduced. So I would say that both of us may have different, perspective to doing things, but those things actually align in their own unique ways. And I think that's why both of us are running our businesses together, not just as partners who are trying to raise money, but individuals who have a similar assignment, going on the same journey and trying to make impact and legacy. I think that's one thing that connects us together.
Wow, thank you. Thank you for sharing this. So many things to unpack from what you said. One thing I just want to like emphasize on was when you mentioned that you saw that you both shared same ideology. Because one of the things that we want to establish on this call is the power of partnership, right? You can't just partner with anybody. You have to be sure that you guys share the same ideology, and that's one thing that I pick from what you said. So I know that if I want to do anything, collaboration with anyone, any partnership whatsoever, it has to be someone that we share the same idea. And you also mentioned the God factor. Like if the person does not share the same idea with you when it comes to God, there's no way you'll be able to work together. I mean, and it will be effective. Thank you so much for sharing that. So one thing I want to ask is this. So I know that people have been talking about real estate, right? I want to start with Mr. Bayo. This question I want you both to answer. I want to start with Mr. Bayo. A lot of people are moving to tech, right? They're moving to tech. but you say it's real estate that you want. So why real estate? Because almost everyone seems to be going into tech. What made you stick with, or what made you choose real estate as your path?
All right. So thank you for that question.
Thank you.
Let me say that real estate is the oldest profession. You know, even God, his first profession is a real estate developer. You know, let me
Really?
just cite the Holy Book. The Bible says in the beginning, God created the heavens and is a builder, is a developer. So the first thing God did was to build. And you know, even after he created a man, the first thing he gave to a man was a piece of land. He gave him a territory called the Garden of Eden. So basically, real estate goes, way back. It's not a profession that anybody can see the end of it. It's a profession that come 200 generations from now, it will still be in existence. Tech is a very great profession, but when you look at the advent of tech, you will see that it's recent. But for real estate, it's been almost forever. And for us, we feel that the real estate is a path God has channeled for us, and there's so much to do in the real estate sector. Let me say that we are not in the real estate, probably because of the money, but I would say because we want to make a change. Because for us, we see a lot of things that I feel a lot of people might not be paying attention to because of our similarities, our core values, and our person. There is a way myself and Lukman think, and there's a way we see life. It's so different from every other person. We don't like to do average. And that is why when we say real estate and we want to develop estate, we want to build, you want to be sure that the reason why we are doing it is not because of the money we want to get from it. It is because we want to deliver enormous value to a lot of people and give them, a lot of value for their money. For example, the reason why we are currently doing real estate is because we want to empower a lot of young people and channel them, in the right direction. I can say categorically that, there are a lot of companies that have started because we started our real estate company. You can begin to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you continue to count by the inspiration of we starting real estate. A lot of people have started a real estate company, so it's a life-changing experience. We are happy, we are glad that a lot of people have embraced real estate as their full profession. Is good. Much more than that is the fact that for us we see potential in real estate. For us, we see a calling in real estate. Let me put it that way. We see a potential, we see a calling, and we see it as an assignment because for us it's not just about the money making you make in the business. It's about the lives you impact, and it's also about how you are able to channel the cost of living for a lot of people, and how you change the narrative within the real estate ecosystem. So for us, much more than the money that we make, much more than every other thing that comes with it, majorly for us is the fact that it's an assignment, it's a calling, and the potential that he has. So for everyone doing tech, it's just all about perspective. And if you feel you are called into that space, why not utilize it, embrace it, and make sure that you do all that is within your capacity to change the narrative within that ecosystem. Thank
Wow.
you.
So good. I picked the calling part. I mean, it said so many things, but the fact that it's a calling, so the fact people are moving to tech does not mean that you have to move since you have recognized that this is a calling for you. I would like Mr. Lukman to also like add to what you said, like why are you insisting on real estate?
All right, Temi, thank you again. That's a very great question. And to be honest, tech is we've seen a lot of ways technology has changed our modern world and how we do business and operate as individuals, and also made our lives way better. But beyond that, I think that in addition to all that Bayo said, is that real estate is quite personal. And the reason why I'm saying that is that growing up in Nigeria, you don't have to see that we have a big housing problem. We have about 28 million housing deficits as far as Nigeria is concerned. So there are 28 million individuals or families who do not have access to decent going every year. And for us as Dukiya investment, that's what we set out to do. Because we've seen that challenge. Why can't we just do something about it? I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So for us, it's about
Yeah.
coming into the real estate game, changing the game, not just about transaction. I mean, for everybody that we do transaction with, it's an opportunity to build stability, to build trust, and instill legacy in them, right? And at Dukiya Investment, we pride not just selling land or selling houses, but in reinventing comfort, building smiles, and leading people home. So one thing that drove myself and Bayo into this space is the need to look beyond the present, to think of the future, especially in our own deficit in our own nation. Now, how can we be not just the problem who are complaining? What can we democratizing the property ownership, making sure that young individuals who don't have so much mid-income earners selling actions over a period of time and gated buy from us time, and potential return on investment impact a lot of lives. Beyond, I mean, myself and Bayo start.
Okay, I think something is wrong with Mr. Lukman network. Okay, we are going to go on a short break though, but before we go on a short break, there's something I picked from what he said, about making people happy, about the problem of the housing and them wanting to solve it. So what I want to establish from what he said is that if you have decided that this is the business you want to do, you see that this is a calling, there should be a solution you are providing. Like the moment you realize that you are providing that solution, people are happy, then I don't think there's any need to say that, oh, because the world is moving to this particular field, I also want to move to that field. So before I go to the next question that I have for you, I just want to talk about what we also do in Embark. I mean, Mr. Bayo mentioned how they are helping young people, and I know that there's someone I know that actually started our own real estate based on Mr. Bayo, Mr. Luxman's mentorship. So they're helping youth, and that's one thing we also do in Embark. Helping young entrepreneurs to guide them on how to scale up their business, how to do business in the right way. And September, we're going to start our next cohort. Our next cohort will be starting soon. I said September, by July rather. I mean, the application is closing July. Yeah, July 24th. So if you're on this call and you're planning to join the next cohort, our cohort 4, application closes 21st of July and classes start September. So this is a good time to sign up, and you get to learn about how to scale your business, everything you need to know about business. That's what we're going to be teaching you for free in Embark Entrepreneurship Academy. Okay, so while we wait for Mr. Lukman to join, Mr. Bayo, please, I would like you to answer. I want to ask this question about
Lukman is here.
partnership.
Lukman is here. Can you see him?
Oh, okay. I guess my network. Okay, welcome back, sir. All right.
Thank you so
So our
much.
network. I just
So I'm actually using 4 different network for some reasons. I don't know why all of them are just unfortunate today. So I guess that's just
uh,
so just doing real estate because I mean it's the popular thing in town. All thanks to
mm,
God, we've had a lot of younger people whose dreams have been powered, courtesy of what myself and Bayo is doing, and to the glory of God.
yeah,
Right? I
yeah,
mean, so but beyond all of that, what I'm trying to say is that real estate is not an end in itself. It's a means to an end. It's a
mm,
vehicle which we want to impart our own generation, contributing our quota to the society, selling
mm.
distinct and unique value in such a way that people will see the product that we sell and they will say, "Wow, who created this?" And through that, they will build a lifelong legacy for excellence and distinction.
Thank you so much, sir. So it's all of us that there's a plan, there's a future plan beyond the real estate thing, and it's so good to know. So the question I want to ask now, I'm going to start with Mr. Bayo. It's about partnership and collaboration. So what are 3 essential things to look out for before entering a business partnership? Like things we need to like look out for, because I believe that people, young entrepreneurs on this call, that might be considering, okay, should I partner, should I collaborate with someone? What are the major things that you think they should look out for before entering a business partnership?
All right. Thank you for that question. I think Number one, I think you should look at the personality of the person you want to do business with.
Okay. Personal.
Everybody can collaborate, but not everybody can partner. So there are people that they can work together. One of, just once they can work together. It's not a big deal. But to wake up every day and work with somebody else, it's just like a marriage. When you can be a friend to somebody and you don't see the person another 2 weeks, 3 weeks until you might not be fighting. But can you be in a room with them every day, consult them, ask them questions? What do you think? Do you agree with me? And you'll not be angry. And as so long the business exists, that partnership must exist. It's only if one person is willing to step down. So first question, look at the personality of the person. Do you like them? Do you love them? Let me make it a little bit, drop it a little bit. Do you like them? Do you like the idea of the person? Are you irritated by the person? That does the person's success irritate you? Do you feel oppressed by the person? Do you feel intimidated by, because you might say, oh, I like the person motivates me. But for how long will the person continue? Will the person continue to motivate you every day? Or at the
Wow.
point you'll be feeling like, is he the only one? Why is it every time? Will you be feeling that way? That's one. Number two is trust. If you don't trust anybody or you don't trust this person, don't go into, because there will be room to misunderstand the person. There will be room for you to doubt the person. But you must always choose trust, because you are always on the other side of the coin, so you don't even know what is going on at the other end. And many times you might need explanation, but guess what? Many times you will not get those explanations, and you must trust the person. You must know that the person has good intention. You must understand that the person wants the best for you. So if you don't trust the person, it will be a lot to deal with. For example, let me say that maybe money is keep going in and out of the organization, and let's say you just don't care about all of those back end of calculating, auditing. And if you keep seeing it, we used to trust the person that, don't worry, this person is not taking from the company's profit or the company's money. The person is just doing what they need to do and all. It's trust is key. You cannot, if you don't, you cannot be, the word is insecure. You cannot be insecure. You have to be secured in yourself before you go into business with somebody. And the last but not the least is values. Your values must align. How you execute might be different, your personality might be different, what you do, but your values, where you are going to, has to be the same way. Your values must align. You must have the same value orientation, because you are trying to achieve a goal. And then, except two people agree, they cannot work together. So your values must align. You must agree with yourself. So don't forget, number one, you must like the idea of the person. Do you like their personality? Do you like who they are? Do you you don't have to agree with them with everything, but does the idea of the person seems great to you? Do you know the person's weakness already? So no need to overflog it, but do you like the idea of the person? Secondly, do you trust the person? And third, do you agree with their values? Your values must align. All right, let me hang it there. Thank you.
Hey, Mr. Bayo. Everyone can collaborate, but everyone cannot be your partner. That one alone, I'm taking it with me forever. So you can't. There's some people that I can just do one off with. You might not be able to. And the part that I said, you have to like the person. So that means sometimes your values might even align, but you might not even want to be in the same space with the person for a long time. So you have to like check values, check personality, like you like the person, check, then trusting the person, check. Thank you so much for that, sir. This question is for Mr. Lukman. um I want to ask, sir, how do you handle disagreement? Because okay, now from what he said, your personality, I mean, you like each other, you trust each other, and all of that. But how do you handle disagreement? Just let me just put it that way, so I won't complicate the whole question. How do you handle disagreement?
Okay, so thank you so much, Timmy. I think that Bayo lifted everything off my mind when you asked him that question. And one thing that I also wanted to add to it is that you know communication is very key, and I think that's one thing that has actually helped our own business. Yesterday, I was sharing a slide, a view. I think somebody posted something about branching out with their partner. in their business. So it was on Instagram. So I just sent the post to Bayo to learn one or two. And oftentimes we see a lot of people actually post about parting ways with their partner. You know, I've started this business with so and so for 7 years. I think it's high time each person go their ways. And you know, by the time you begin to understudy what really happened, you see that the core of some of those issues are minor issues that are allowed to fester for long. One of it is that there is no effective communication. I believe that the Bible says, can two work together except they be agree? And Bayo also highlighted the essence of agreeing with your partner. But beyond that, there will be times when you disagree. But disagreeing with them is not really what matters. It's how you handle disagreements. You have somebody, it's like marriage. You know, like I always tell my wife, whenever it is that we have one disagreement or the other, you can marry somebody, love them, toast them, you're in the same room with them, you love them with the whole of your life. But you'll be surprised that being in the same room with them for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, you know, you see yourself, what your people call see your PG, see finish. You see the person to a point that you're just like, that fine girl that everybody respect outside is not your own wife. I mean, that lady everybody's chasing is now sleeping under your roof. So, I mean, but there is need for communication and then mutual respect. But let me take it one step at a time. So communication in the sense that upfront, you're able to communicate. I tell my wife that please, whenever we disagree, let's not sleep over it. Let's discuss it and let it end there. Another thing that when we are disagreeing, let's not mention things that on the the next day you don't say a word that I mean, even though you've won the fight, there's now a war. You know, the war is, so don't go and say something like you're mad or that kind of word. Let's not use those statements in this house. And I think one thing that myself and Bayo has also said in the past is that when we disagree, let's separate the issues from the person. So rather than saying you are stupid, right? You know, you can tell somebody that you are stupid. You could say that action look ill thought. The action did not look like a well thought out idea. But you could say the person is stupid. When you say the action does not look well thought out, the person can say, why do you say this? And then it's not personal, unlike saying you are stupid, right? So you must be careful not to attack the person and just address the issues independently. So that's the aspect of communication. And you know, every at the end of the year, myself and Bayo normally have a yearly routine where we put ourselves in a camp in Nigeria and then we ask ourselves, what did you do in the course of the year that annoyed me? What did you do that offended me? What did you say? And I will mention, you will remember every time. It's not like we don't discuss on a daily basis if somebody offends. I mean, so but the fact that we spend a lot of time together, we speak to ourselves to some point that when people come to us in the office, especially because you are managing a lot of people, middle level managers, and some of your staffs and the likes, when they say something to Bayo and they bring it to me, the first question I want to ask is, has this issue been discussed with Bayo? Okay, yes. What was his opinion about it? That way, you're able to stop third parties from playing in between you and then putting your head at loggerhead. So you want to be careful. So communication is essentially very key, especially in business relationships. You must communicate. And that can be one of the ways to avoid disagreement. Another thing is mentorship. You must submit to somebody higher than both of you so that you can be accountable. If there is, we've never had to be at that stage anyways, but let's assume that our business is at a point in time where we have a major disagreement. Do we have somebody that when I talk to them about Bayo can respect? And that's why sharing the same value with them matters, because I cannot imagine that I am in a partnership with somebody. I mean, the other people that I said they had a fallout, they said they went to the person's pastor. The person did not listen to the pastor. So I don't want to have that kind of partner, somebody that cannot be corrected, somebody that does not have any sense of any strata of authority over them. That's somebody already on the path to perdition. So I can't be in a partner with such a person. So it's important that you have some form of mentorship that both of you have submitted to, that if something goes wrong, this is this and that. And another thing is that in our own partnership, arrangement, myself and Bayo, we are more like brothers, honestly. We are beyond partners. And one thing that we've also highlighted is that there are rules and regulations that guys are part of. There's partnership documents that is codified, legally binding on both of us. So they spelled out rules and obligations. There is something that Bayo must do. There is what I must do. This one has nothing to do with the fact that you're a co-founder or not. If you don't do it, you may not get your salary. Point blank, simple. And there are discussions that must not get to certain strata. There are things that we do in our business that we must not discuss with our partners. Because you don't want your wife to start saying, some people want family businesses, discuss everything, but we don't do that because You don't want your wife to start advising you, giving you bedroom advice as regards the business. There's a limit to what you discuss with your partner, especially when it regards and concerns this business called Dukiya investment. Then lastly, I think before lastly, penultimately is mutual respect. Is that you allow, even though you don't agree most of the time, respect each other's opinion and listen. So there are times that Bayo says something, to be honest with you, it doesn't really make sense. But I just need to let it fly. So it's like we have stupidity gap. Is that okay? David has been stupid once. My name is also David, by the way. So don't worry. I also need to be stupid. So like, oh, David, there was an allowance. So he could share something. I'm like, I don't think this idea goes well. But let it go because you brought it. Right? Another time we say, well, David, you also suggested something there. It's not making so much sense. But there's an allowance that I have an allowance gap as well. Okay, just use the allowance gap. So is that sometimes you must give yourself grace. You must mutually respect one another. And lastly, is that one of the ways to settle this argument is that most of you should be. I just believe that don't be in a business partnership with somebody you don't share the same ideology on faith. Somebody who do not believe in God. Because I mean, at the core of it is that if something happens, you say that and some people are actually fighting to die. They will say that, see, this matter only in heaven that will settle it. So as long as they are broken, things can usually always be resolved. So you want to have a sense of brokenness and repent core of their heart. And with that, I think things will be fine. Even if there are here and there, you can go back to the table and resolve it.
Wow, wow, this is beyond business. Even though the Embark is for business, but I mean, you taught business, you even taught, if, in case you are planning to get married anytime, so you know how to relate with your partner. Thank you, sir. One thing I want to, establish from what you said, when you mentioned respecting each other's opinion, I think that's very important. The allowance part, that also stood out for me. Like allow people to say whatever ideas they have, and tolerating one another. This is so good, and it's so good to see that people are doing partnership. There's partnership in business, and is doing well, is progressing. This question is to Mr. Bayo. It's about mentorship. So I know that you've mentored hundreds of professionals. I mean, I know someone that's she's doing so well now under your mentorship. What I want to ask is, what's one mistake that young founders make when collaborating or seeking partnerships? What's one mistake that you think that young founders they make when trying to? I mean, there are people that they've seen both of you and they also want to like collaborate. I also want to have a partner. What's one mistake that you think they make?
All right. Thank you so much for that question. Thank you. I think they don't ask questions.
Okay.
They assume a lot. They assume that, so for example, when they see you buy a car, they just assume you took the money out of the business or you travel. That they just see people can, when the Bible says they think vain, they imagine vain things. Like in their mind, like this, once you start that business, or somebody just imagine, oh, it's somebody that is spending the money in the business, the other person is just calm, cool, that one doesn't spend money as if that one doesn't need money in his life. People just assume, the way you just follow people on Instagram and you feel that you know their house, you know where they live. In fact, you feel that yesterday they were in Abuja, but today they came. You feel you know everything about them because so people assume a lot. An assumption is the lowest level of knowledge. Is the lowest. So when I see young people, I see a lot of people who the assumption level is too high. They just assume that okay, we can do if they can do it, why not? We can do it, they just like people like the idea of partnership. They just feel like, oh, LSD is doing and Bayo, they are doing, why not? We can also do it. They don't. So one of the mistakes a lot of people make is that as the assumption level is too high. Don't assume. Ask questions. Ask questions. How does it work? How are you doing it? What are the things you do? Just ask. I know of many partnerships that have scattered because they saw myself and LSD and they just felt that because we are doing it, they can do it. And many times they are not just supposed to be people who run business. They can be friends. See, many partnerships have destroyed a lot of friendship. people that could still be good friends to themselves, but because they entered into partnership, it's caused a lot of problems and chaos amongst them. So people don't ask questions and don't, as I can't say more than that for now. I think that is one of the most important things. When you see something that is working, don't assume because of all that you see online or all that you see on status or all that you see from afar is what is responsible for the success of that which you see. Don't assume. Ask questions, not just questions, but the right questions. All right, thank you.
Yeah. So tell me, let me just quickly also say, in addition to what Bayo said, because we've seen quite, and this is really becoming more like a challenge because we've seen a lot of people run into partners. In fact, we've seen people come to us that they actually thought that in our partnership arrangement, LSC is the one that spends the money, Bayo is the one that is reserved, without necessarily asking us questions. And somebody went to collect an ATM card for their business. And the guy will go to the club, one partner will go to the club and present the company's card, customers' money, and lavish it. And then before you know it, they ran the company to the ground. What I've come to understand is a lot of people run into partnership without understanding the person, the persona of the partner that they are going in business with. And so people also run into partnership because of they look at it that, okay, what connection, what can this partner bring immediately? For instance, I heard the story of somebody that went to partner because somebody's father was a governor. And they went into a partnership with the person because, I have the idea, he has the connection. You can imagine. And after 4 years, the father did not return. And guess what? There and then, that business partner become useless because the essence of partnership was that it was going to gain business connection, contracts, but because the company is supposed to be, a long-term thing, not a short, because it was a short-term concept that this guy's father is a governor. They didn't share the same value. So the other guy became redundant. So he was not sharing company details with him because from the onset, the guy had not really been into the details and you gave him a 50% of your business, calling him partner, just because his father is a governor. So when the father did not return, before you know, they started disagreeing, they started having issues, they took themselves to court, and the business died on arrival. So it's important that you share the same value with the person that you're actually running your business partnership with. You guys are in sync. And sometimes, if you're not bringing value at the same level, what you call value, whatever it may be, define what value means. In our own business, I'm in charge of business development and vision. Bayo handle strategy and growth. So we must that out and I understand. And to be fair, I used to tell people many a times that I don't think I can run a business myself. So it's that I've seen that I'm not good with operation, right? But I think you could build something like I'm good at taking the credit. I could go out, say speak about the vision, what you have built. You just clap for me. But guess what? If I don't have somebody like a Bayo, who is my co-founder, it's possible that I will not be able to drive that business to growth and sustainability. So it's important that you understand and define what each person brings to the table, and you ensure that that can be sustained over a period of time.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Lukman. So the funny thing is, I had this question on my mind about how you do the division of labor, the structure. But I just said because of time, I was going to skip that question. So thank God you just spoke about it. Like you have to know that this is what this person is bringing to the table. And when you said you should define the value, so you know that okay, you both are actually doing what you're meant to do. And I like when you said that um yeah, I just mentioned that division of labor, like this is what this person is doing, this is what this person is doing, so there will not be any misunderstanding at all. And thank you, Mr. Bayer, for what you said as well about respecting each other's opinion and all. So I want us to go on a short break. After then, I have just one question to ask. Then I will allow people on the call to also drop their questions so that we can end the call. I don't want us to take too long. So let's just go on a short break and we'll be right back. Thank you so much, Saz.
Thank you, Temi.
You're welcome.
What is fundraising? Fundraising is the process of raising money or capital for a business, an organization, or a project. The purpose of the funds is mostly to start, in other cases, is to sustain or grow the business.
Emotional demands are the pressures and expectations placed on you to manage and regulate your emotion in the workspace.
Now, let's go on to tools of speaking. Tools of speaking. Number one, clarity.
When someone is then bringing up an idea or trying to go a direction that is not right, keeping quiet is going to be a disaster for the business.
For social media, how much do we spend on social media? How many customers did we eventually sell to from the people that came from social media? These events that we have been going to every month or every year, how many customers did we acquire in the last 1 year? Is it a profitable channel? Is it a channel for lead generation? Is it a profitable channel? Word of mouth. How much did we spend on word of mouth marketing? And how many customers did we get?
Welcome back, sirs. Thank you so much. And I must be honest, I've gained so much from our conversations this evening. Thank you for sharing so much without withholding anything. Thank you so much, sir. So there's one thing that we owed to art in Embark, and that's the God factor in business. So I want to start with Mr. Lukman now. Can you share one moment when God clearly showed up in your journey? Like how has your faith influenced how you lead and build Dukiya?
Thank you so much, Temi. I think that if I'm going to be fair with you, I won't call it a moment. I will say that collectively, Dukiya is just some total of God's grace and God's help. And I think that mercy and that grace is renewed every morning. So, and that's one thing at the core of what myself and Bayo we are actually doing. Beyond just running a business or being like every other entrepreneur, is that Dukiya is just a vehicle through which we actually demonstrate God's principle of enterprise, God's principle of dominion, God's principle of productivity and expansion. So at the core is that we are not just doing this business because we want to do it just to be profitable. I remember when we started our brand, and then myself and Bayo were in our place of work. I was head of sales. Bayo was working with the owner of the company as executive assistant, and we have saved about 100 million. We had invested the money in the venture. We have planned our resignation. Our boss has said he's not going to allow us resign. I mean, no boss would, because at that time we were actually at the center of sales. I mean, doing billions every year, and we're looking for ways to navigate that challenge. And we eventually told him that, I mean, it is time because God actually wants us to leave. And after a while, he finally decided that, okay, then we should go ahead. So one thing I need to say here is that I understand that everybody is becoming a trend. I mean, for everybody to be a CEO these days, even somebody that is not paying anybody is now having a business card, being CEO of so and so. It's just so trendy. But the truth is that if God did not actually instruct you to start a business, what that means is that if you start it, you will chop cane because you have not been sent. It's not a crime. However, everybody should have an entrepreneurial drive within them. I mean, because that's the key to sustainable wealth. So, and you could have an entrepreneurial drive and still be an employee because they are entrepreneurs within an organization. So for us, I think at the core is that God actually wanted us to start, Dukiya investment. And when I spoke with Bayo, and it was so much aligning because he also shared the same, nudge. And when we eventually started out, we lost about 100 million. I mean, everybody, it looks as though we should go back to our paid employment. If not because we have heard the voice of God, we will actually go back. But because we knew what we have heard, we actually persisted to say no. It was not an echo. We were clear on what God wanted us to do. And so we continued. And I'll tell you that when we started, the first product that we launched, because we had lost a lot of money, The first product that we launched, I think it was a pair that failed. We didn't do well in the product. Bayo, am I right? Or then we now went to Abeokuta. We went to Abeokuta. And the product that we eventually unveiled in Abeokuta, we had a customer who gave us like a seed fund. That now, catapulted our real estate journey. And ever since then, we've not owned a dime when it comes to paying our people's salary, or we've never been stuck on any project. So I think that in that way, God has really been of great help to us. Another, vital thing is, I remember there was a project we were doing one time, and we were stuck because we needed close to 2 to do the project. And myself and buyers are, we're not going to go ahead to do this project. Let's just abandon it and come back. Somehow, an idea struck in us that why not do a job now? So we did a job with some of our friends. A job is like what they call trips. 30 million naira, you pack 100 million. So we packed the first money. The job was never complete. It was about 80 million. And myself and Bayo carried our chests and we moved to site. That we're going to start a construction work that will take us close to 2 billion naira. And then we started. And as I speak to you right now, God has provided everything that we needed. That customers have always been buying just because we actually took action. People have been buying, even though those buying did not know that we never saw the end, even from that beginning. We're just facing it. And so, very entrepreneurs are the center of what we do. Because when the storms come, and the storms will surely come, those are some of the things that will keep us, steer us, and motivate us to know that indeed we are going to navigate, to forge ahead. The disadvantage with those who do not have clarity with God is that they will throw in the towel at every little challenge or obstacle. So as entrepreneurs, I want you to understand that there will surely be challenges. And I always tell my salespeople that every now and then, there are a lot of people in this our real estate sales. A lot of people who are trying to use, they are using different kind of powers to talk to people. The kind of work that we do, it requires that customer give us money. Myself and Bayo have spoken to people that are giving us billions of naira. Some people are giving us 400 million, some people are giving us 900 million, some people are giving us 800 million, some people are giving us a billion. Guys, and except we want to lie to ourselves, I think myself and Bayo can remember many times when we look back, tears sometimes drop in our eyes because we are just like, look at that small boy from my elbow and see how far God has helped us. The truth of the matter is that there are people in this same industry with you who are using jazz. Everybody have altars. They have something that they believe in. And the world is never ordinary. Right? Because the spirit controls the physical. So if you are not careful, don't let them eat you for lunch. You need to be sure that you have an altar that you service and let it be the living God, because that's the only way you are going to prevail in this wicked world. So, and I hope that you don't just think that it's business. And once I sell the best product, people are going to buy. No, life is not going to give you what you want. It's going to give you what you demand out of it. So there's a language that the world actually understands, and that's the language of faith. So it doesn't matter what they are selling. It doesn't see. Some people will destroy. They don't mind. Or people they will eat your business for lunch. And businessmen are around there. They are ferocious. So you have to understand and stick your ground and understand the God that we serve. Because as my best book will say, he said, the people that do know their God, they shall be strong and they shall do exploits. I hope that explains it.
Sir, it explains so much, so much. Thank you so much, sir. Mr. Bayo, please, can you just add to what you just said about the God factor in business? Bless you, sir.
Thank you. That was profound from Lukman. So I
Yeah.
don't I don't think I need to add anything to that, because let me just say that, you know, the Bible says, except the Lord build a house, they build but in vain. Except the Lord watches over the city, the watchman watch but in vain. So basically, I would say that the foundation of this house is built on God. And see, if God takes the glory, he will defend his own house. So for us, is as simple as that. Is God at the forefront of what we do? And if God be for you, now nobody can be against you. So let me not over stress it.
I'm just so excited. I'm so happy to hear this, that you can be a child of God and be doing well in your business and you enjoy divine direction. God will always show up for you. Thank you so much for helping us to understand this better and to understand how God has been helping you. So, people on the call, please, this is the time to drop your questions, okay? Because I'm about to ask, the last question on my list. Then I will move to the questions on the call so that by latest 7:15 we should be done with this conversation. And it has been a great time this evening. I mean, I've learned so much that I'm going to tell my children today. This is what I learned from the Dukiya. Wonderful, amazing men. Thank you so much, sir. So, what I want to ask is if you could write. So, I'm going to start with Mr. Bayo. If you could write a short note to your younger selves before starting Dukiya investment, what would you say in what let me just say in one sentence? What would you say? You want to write a short note to your younger selves now before starting Dukiya investment, what would you say?
I think I'll just say two things. Number one, start early.
Hmm.
Number two, get knowledge. Those two things.
Early,
There is a
knowledge.
conception of you are young. There's nothing like a young father. Hope you know. Responsibility does not have age. The moment you are a father, you are a father. Your dad is an husband. The moment you get married, you are a wife or husband. You take on the responsibility. There's nothing like old father, young father, mid father. So, in whatever you do, start early. The earlier, the better. You make your mistake early, but before you start early, get knowledge. I'm a big fan. Lukman is also a big fan of knowledge. Always get knowledge because knowledge gives you like almost 10 steps ahead of every other person. Once you know what you are doing, it's easier to get result. You will not struggle to get things done. So if I were to tell my younger self, I'll tell my younger self, start, early. And number two, get knowledge. Get knowledge. Guys, in all you do, get knowledge. In every business that you do, whether tech, real estate, anything that you do, knowledge is important. You will pay. See, the cost for knowledge or the cost for ignorance is far higher than the cost for knowledge. Somebody says, no, if you think knowledge is expensive, try ignorance. That thing is true. It's very, very true. Get knowledge. Don't just say, oh, they say they are making money in tech. You can't pack all your money, you put in tech. You don't understand how it works. Or they say there's money in real. You can't get knowledge. All right, let me drop it there.
Thank you, sir. So we know better now. You start early, don't wait. Just start and get knowledge. And before you start early, get knowledge too. Thank you, sir. So Sir Lukman. So
So
what?
my I,
Yes.
since Bayo have told his younger self to get knowledge, what we might what will I tell my younger self like this? Well, I think I'm looking for the advice. Well, maybe I mean I can't categorically remember what I would tell my younger self. But I mean for somebody here, looking back in retrospect, maybe somebody that is younger than us, thinking that what are we going to say to them at this stage in their life? I would say that if you are doing the right thing, because I remember when myself and Bayo were young in the school days, university days, honestly, if somebody can just tell us that, trust the process, stay consistent, and don't be afraid to start small. I think that would have been enough for us. If the person told us that way, because you need to trust the process, you need to stay consistent. And about staying consistent, I tell a lot of my salespeople, and I use sales a lot as an example because I'm a salesperson. I sell almost every day. That consistency is good. Whatever it is that you are doing, as long as it's the right thing, just stay consistent to it. Because more often than not, the world will not reward you for occasionally dispelling excellence. Even if what you are dispelling is just good, there is good, there is great, there is good, better, best, right? If all you are dispensing is good, and you dispense good on a daily basis every day, there are higher chances that you'll be greater. In fact, 90% chance that you'll be greater than somebody who only dispel excellently well occasionally. So, show up consistently. If you sell something every day, even if it's sand, people will buy based on three things. Somebody will buy it because of curiosity. Why is that boy selling sand every day? Kilo one, buy. Let me buy it. They will buy that sand out of curiosity. Somebody will buy that sand out of pity. Yeah, how many want to hey, yeah, kilo one share, you don't need the one you. Let me just buy. I don't need it, but let me just buy. You know why? Because you are showing up. And some people will buy just because you are consistent. That this boy is just creating unnecessary nuisance. Let me just buy the whatever so that I can rest. You remember that person that was knocking at Jesus' feet until she was eventually answered because the woman was consistent. He would just let go. So that's one. The other thing is this: find to do these three things in your life. Number one, get a mentor. Can you hear me now?
I can hear him clearly from my end.
I think it's your network, tell me.
I can hear Leslie clearly.
So that means many of our viewers can hear as well. There are three things you need to get at a very early age. And I'm begging you, don't do the mistake. Don't think that you have it all. Don't be proud. Get a mentor. The challenge with many of us is that we don't get mentors. And see, the only thing that you have access to, it's your community, your local area, the people that are myopic where you grew up, your parents. And they are limited in what they know. So get a mentor. Somebody who knows more than you. And see, getting a mentor, your mentor can be younger than you, but he knows better than you, or he has shown proven results in the area you aspire to get to. So get a mentor. Your mentor can be in the village and you're in the city. This is not, see, this days and time that people only choose mentors based on the cars that they drive. People choose mentors. There was a time that I used to, people choose mentor because somebody has a long Instagram following. There are many, most of the most reasonable people, they have few followers. Do you know that people that have followers, many people that have followers, they are so unreasonable. Do you know? But because this age and time, we use the wrong yardstick, the young parameters, the young measure to choose mentors. Your mentor can be in the village. Yes, he can be one elderly man who is not prominent. He's in the village. But let me tell you, the advice he will tell you, nobody can give you. And it's only that advice that will save you from death. He will just tell you that, oh, mommy, teach you any better, a man for what bujeni. And some of who you call reasonable mentors may not be able to tell you that simple statement. So you need to get a mentor. Number two, you need to get a coach. A coach is somebody that they are pragmatic. They understand the core of what they are doing. They are scientific about their approach. They can tell you 2 + 2 = 4 because they've done it before. And for a coach, you might need to even pay to have access to them. Pay a coach to teach you business. That's why we go to school. That's why we attend business schools. This age and time, if something is not free, some people will never attend. If Embark asks many people now to pay, some of us, well, you people are even still paying. Because some people nobody can be too broke that you cannot pay attention. But many people in our generation now, the reason why they are where they are is that they can't even pay attention. People cannot pay attention these days. They are not paying money, but they will not pay attention again. But you must always pay if you want to get it. So you must be willing to pay a coach. Then number 3, get a sponsor. See, walk into rooms where people can see. See, let me tell you, there is something Bayo used to say that life is in faces, men are in sizes. We are not the same. It was Animal Farm that said all men are equal, but some are more equal than all figures are equal, but some are more equal than the other. We are not all equal. You know, Ntoba Junilo, only Juninu. You don't get what I'm saying? Is that there are some people in life that if they mention your name in some rooms, it doesn't matter who you are. If some people tag you, they tag your business. Say Dukiya. Imagine Cristiano Ronaldo saying, well, some of my boys, Lukman, Sobowale, and Bayo from Nigeria. I trust them. Their business is Dukiya investment. I have blown. It doesn't matter what me and Bayo do, whether we know how to do this business or not. Suddenly, we will be fortunate. Imagine that Dangote just snap a picture with myself and Bayo and said, I trust these boys. These are the next generation of African entrepreneurs. People are going to come for us. Banks are going to give us money. That's, in a way, some credibility. Right? So you must look for people who are sponsors. Those ones, they are not mentors. So don't go and mistake them for mentors. So those ones, when you go and meet them, you might just pack gifts and give them, and they'll just say, how is your business now? I'll call one of my friends for you in Fundraising Bank. I'll call one of my friends in UBA. Just tell him, it is some sponsor that give you notes and say, please assist, and they'll just sign. And you take that note and you put it on the person's table. And they say the person is busy. And when the person sees the note, say, why have you guys been keeping him waiting? Do you know who signed this paper? Come in, my son. What do you want? And anything you mention, they will not say how years has your business been operating. They will not say who is your co-founder. They will not say what's your turnover. They will just give you the loan because of the strength of your sponsor. They will mention you in the rooms that matter. So you must understand in the role of this tripartite category, your mentors, your coaches, and your sponsors, and you must deploy them accordingly. Many of us are stranded in life, not because God has not answered our prayer. Some of you have altar, you have been praying, but your problem is that you have regard for nobody. Nobody is your mentor. Only you. You are the mentor, you are the coach, you are the sponsor. You have no authority over your life. Nobody prays over you. Nobody can speak over you. Nobody can advise you. You are not following anybody, and you want things to follow you. It might be difficult because who you follow determines what follows you.
So good. So good. I don't even know what to say. Wow. So many things to unpack from what you just said. I mean, the word to use is that you guys are embodiment of so much wisdom, and we are really grateful for you know taking out of your time to spend time with us to bless us with your well of wisdom this evening. Thank you so much, sir. I think I know better now. You must get a mentor, you must get a coach, and you must also get a sponsor, and you should pay for things, pay to learn things. Thank you so much, sir. So, before we, end the call this evening, there's a question on the call from Rodia. So Rodia said, as a business owner, at what stage of our business should we consider a partnership? So I want to add to that question: is partnership necessary? That's my question. Then, from what Rodia said, at what stage of our business should we consider a partnership? So let Mr. Bayo, then LSD can help us at it.
All right, thank you. I think it's not all businesses that need partners, like I said from the beginning, but you always need to collaborate at one point or the other. So I would say that for any business to grow, let me also say that you will need partnership at one point or the other. Because at a point your business will plateau, it will get to a stage where you will need a higher level of influence, higher level of finances, higher level of ideas. You will just need some things that can, that are like catalysts that can take you to the next level. And guess what? You might not be the one with it. And that's why when you see startup founders, when you see them, when they get to a stage in their business, they sell it off. It's not like they sell off and they are not part of the business again. No, they still have like a 2%, 3%, 10%. But the major stake of the business is now with somebody else. And these people then employ them to be a part of the business. Do you understand? For example, look at Elon Musk. He bought Twitter. Some of the people that were working with Twitter, he laid some people off, but he replaced, he retained some people rather, and they are still in the business. Many businesses will get to a stage whereby you don't have the financial muscle and the appetite for the risk that is needed to take it to the next level. For example, you might not be able to take certain risks in your business because you know that if you take the risk, there is no coming back. Once it doesn't work, you are gone. But somebody else will buy the business or will come into the business and their risk appetite is very high. And they can do and undo with the business. The business can die, it can survive, and it can 2 or 100x. Do you understand what I mean? So at
Yeah.
every point in your business, you must understand that there are places and there are levels where the business gets to that it will require some level of collaboration and sometimes some level of partnership to take. For example, if somebody wants to come into our own business now and they want to give us some billions of dollars to scale the business, I will just tell Lukman, don't worry, I can work for this person. Are you with? Because at a point, he requires some level of financial, because when you build a business to a level, really, you just want another person to just continue it. Maybe you are just a shareholder, they do what is called shareholders meeting, direct board meeting, direct. You just come and contribute your quota, you leave the business and you go. And that's how businesses can grow. At a point in your business, you need to allow other people come in, maybe as collaborators, as partners, as people who help you expand the horizon of the business. Let me just give certain example. I'm sure we are all aware of OPay. You
Yeah.
know, OPay really is not OPay. It started from Gokada.
Yeah.
They were riding bike in Lagos. Then Lagos with some other company called Max NG. They were about 3 or 4 companies. They were doing bikes they were like Uber bike. I'm sure we can remember. But a day came, Lagos State just cancelled the entire thing. Some of them moved to Ibadan. Some of them moved to, at that point, it was at a very fragile stage. The business at that point could die. They were looking for alternative. They started cracking their, and guess what? I don't know who brought that idea, but I believe it was a collaboration, a partnership from somebody, and just, they just transited into something else. They did even something before starting a fintech company. And guess what? Here we are today. Everybody talking about OP, 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 OP. Why? Because at some level in your business, you will need to pivot into something else. You will need to, to do something else or take on some new challenges. And you might not have the expertise, you might not have the financial muscle, and you might not even have the risk appetite, which is very important in any business, to go on to do it. So very important that we always open our minds to take new businesses, take new frontiers, and welcome new people on board.
Thank you, sir. Collaboration is really, really important. Thank you. Alex, do you want to add to
I
that?
think I put it. I think that's what it. If you need to pivot, especially at the level of pivoting, especially in businesses, that's when you might need to take in external funding. Taking because I mean, look at it. Let's be honest with ourselves. If you look at even Apple, look at Apple. Look at how Apple started. Look at those that are running Apple now. If you need to build something long-standing, something a legacy, look at GT Bank. It was Tayo and Tayo Adeyoku and Fola that started it. Look at the guys who are there now. Sometimes you are even asking. I was asking somebody said that. How did Jimmy get there? So is that something if something is going to be bigger than you, the Wamaya, you cannot Wamaya. You get what I'm saying? You can't pull it to your chest. So you have to give room for other people, and there is little to which you can do yourself. Somebody say if I go alone, I go fast. But if I go with others, I go far. We move far. So there are elements in our system. By the time you start doing, you have a proper corporate governance. Also, there are different ways to actually also collaborate or partner. Now, in our business, we might not have a partner on board because our business is relatively a growing business. Because one of the things that makes your business also valuable is how you build it. You need to build it scale it to a point so that you sell it as a valuable entity, right? So that it will not be undervalued. So, but what we can do now is we can do partnership based on projects. Now we have a project that won't take up. It's about 8 billion naira project. I mean, we will build with 8 billion. Somebody has the land. So that's a joint venture. Those people do not have to own shares in our business. It's only on that project. You don't get what I'm saying? So you can do segmentalization. Okay, let's partner with me on this project, partner with me on that other project. But by the time myself and Bayo, we still have some energy right now. If we are now exposing our business to some maybe to the capital markets, maybe we are raising some CP, we are exposing it to the public, we want to be listed, then we now begin to also sell off our shares and our stake in the brand. And then we can also sit back and allow professionals, direct the wheels, employ a CEO, hire one CEO, and then just sit on the board. I can imagine myself on the board of Dukiya Investment with my gray hair. I mean, maybe at 45, there's nothing I want to be doing again, coming to work every day. Because every day now, these guys, they want me to come to the office. But when I'm 45, I can just sit on the board and then I'm just drinking coffee and I'm just giving advice. So I think you must understand, because the problem many people do, I see a lot of young people. Somebody told myself about the other day, the person just started a business and she already sold shares. Business that is less than 2 years. He said somebody gave me 300 million and I gave him 50%. I said, oh my God, complain me go. So because of 300 million, you gave somebody 50%. And the person now came back with 200 million and bought another 20%. So with 500 million, somebody already owned 70% of the company. And guess what? She thought that they were different entity. But after a while, they chased her out of the business because they now have majority stake. So it's important that you understand, rather than if your business has not gone to that point, just do project partnership. Partner based on project, not on the business as an entity. And then when the time comes, you are going public, then you can now, dissolve, your stake in the business. And even if it's 2%, it's better, because sometimes what I also tell people is that it is better to own 2% of an elephant than 100% of a rat. Because the challenge with many of us in Africa is that we have this ownership mentality. We want to own it, but that we get out. That kind of a thing. I'm the CEO of this and that. I have 90% in this. Okay, you have 90% of a rat. Can he really swallow 2 wraps of eba? If you have, just look at a rat, really. But imagine that you have 10% of an elephant. It's a big deal. So it depends on what it is that you're trying to build that will now matter the kind of partnership and collaboration that you want taking.
Wow. Thank you so much, sir. This is what people are paying millions of naira to learn, and we are grateful. Thank you.
No,
Thank you
no,
so
maybe that
much.
was on that. No, don't say this is our what. Maybe that's what we see happen.
Because I will pay. I mean, today we've learned to pay, to get knowledge, and we'll definitely pay. Thank you so much, Mr. Bayo Lawal. Thank you, Mr. Lukman, Sobowale. It's so good to have you on the call, and I've learned so much from both of you. So this is where we are going to be ending the conversation tonight. We do not have any other question on the call, so just want to say thank you. We called and you answered. We are grateful. Embark Entrepreneurship Academy is grateful. Thank you so much, sir. So this is where we say thank you, good night for joining. Thank you,
Thank,
sir. Thank you, Mr. Bayer. Thank you, Saluk Man.
thank you so much for having us. Thank you.
Same here, sir. Bye. Thank you, everyone, for joining. I believe you learned so much. We have a short hard to play for you, and then we'll be done. Thank you.
Are you a young African running a business? Do you have the passion, the drive, but need the right training and support to take your business to the next level? Then, Embark Entrepreneurship Academy is your tribe. Join a powerful community of bold, ambitious young Africans for 100% free and virtual journey of training, mentorship, and real-world business equipment. Don't wait. Register today for Embark Entrepreneurship Academy Cohort 4. It's free, it's virtual, and it's built for entrepreneurs like you. Follow the link on the screen to register for Embark Entrepreneurship Academy Cohort 4 today.
Hey, thank you, everyone. So if you want to join our next cohort starting September, please join because application will close July. Okay, application is closing July 21st. So this is the best time to apply. All right. See you in our next sports live session. Bye.